Hey guys, just playing some Hearthstone at the moment, especially since the Black Rock Mountain expansion came out, which is a lot of fun. Only a couple of relevant cards for me coming out of that one. Well, the main one's Emperor Thaurissan, which I've got in this deck. I'm running a Paladin Death Rattle deck, which is not really the most optimal deck. I haven't spent a lot of money on Hearthstone, so there are some legendaries I don't have, notably Sylvanas is a really good card for the Death Rattle deck if you're running the Baron Rivendare, which I've got. Unfortunately don't have Sylvanas, but playing the Emperor, I think the Emperor is better off in Druid and Warlock. There's only a couple of situations where he really helps this deck, and that's when the other guy decides to use up a Silence or a hard removal spell like a Hex or a Shadow Word Death, and that saves Tirion and Kel Thuzad a little bit of pain, which I'm running both of. The other situation is where you get him out on turn 5 with the coin and then bring forward Kel Thuzad or Tirion or Dr. Boom just a little bit earlier. So that's that. On the Constructed at the moment, rank 14 up against Druid. He's got Piloted Shredder there, so I'm not sure if I'm up against the classic sort of combo Druid deck, although anything can happen. Turn 3 looks like... Oh, by the way, really struggling to do anything about the distortion of these videos. What I'm doing is using Fraps video capture to create the video footage, which looks fine, but it's just like millions of gigabytes, you know, it's massive. And then I'm just putting it into Windows Movie Maker and compressing. So if you guys can link me to a free video studio program, really appreciate it, because then I can actually make better quality videos, and at the moment I really can't, so we just have to sort of work with what we've got. Up against the Tazdingo, whatever he's called, the Shield Master. Really considering the Lights Justice plus the Seal and trying to take out the Taunt, but I think I'm going to try this more defensive play anyway, just in case I get the Baron next turn. And the other thing is that he's going to really struggle to clear the board completely given those two Death Rattles, so that's why I've decided to do that. The Seal is a Paladin class card that I really don't see in anybody else's deck. I don't think it's a brilliant card, it's just that it's helping me so much in the meta with my style. You're playing against Hunters and Mech Mage half the time, and to beat those two decks you really just have to stay alive long enough to get your bigger cards and obviously remove the smaller cards that are doing damage every turn, and the Seal really helps against that. You can also combine it with the Lights Justice for a 3 damage attack, or Truesilver for a 6 damage attack with healing 6 life, which is amazing. So that's why I'm running it. Most of the other stuff you see in the deck is either Death Rattle, a Taunt, or something that heals, and I just really hate losing to Face Hunter by 1 turn. Like, they just need to kill me that particular turn, the next turn I've got it in the bag, and then they manage to do it. But if I can get a heal draw, it usually stops that. So that's the frustration of it. Got the Emperor now. As you can see, Emperor doesn't actually make a huge difference when you're only sort of got 3 or 4 cards. I mean, a lot of the time you just play him and he's making your equalities, and Consecrates cost less, which doesn't make a big amount of difference. In Handlock and Druid, stuff like that, it does make a bit more of a difference. Control Warrior, I think, maybe. But as I said earlier, yeah, if I play the Emperor, then he might use some sort of removal on it, which Kel Thuzad will later be saved from. Opponent playing pretty well here, just managing to control the board. I am worried about the combo eventually, so I have to keep, you know, clearing his board right back. And Consecrate, this could be the ticket at the moment. Yeah, probably better off consecrating and just using some life to kill the Taunt. Have to be careful though, because once you start dropping, you know, between the 15 to 20 range, he can get lethal with the combo if he gets anything on the board that you can't kill. Yeah, it is a bit tough. This is interesting. It's got a Taunt, pretty standard, but do I play the Emperor next turn? That's the question. What I could do is play the Emperor and then hit the Taunt for 1, so that if he trades with the Emperor guy he dies. I do take 4 damage from that, which makes me a little bit more vulnerable to the combo. So that leaves him the option of either going face and leaving my guy alive, or just trading that minion with mine and using his hero power on it, unless he just has a Starfall or something like that, or swipe hero power maybe. Yeah, I'm sure he'll have some way of dealing with it, but as you can see, it will attract a bit of aggro. In the meantime, I've got Kel Thuzad with 7 mana, which does mean that once turn 8, turn 9 comes around, I can cast Kel Thuzad and something else, which might be a winner. Druid comes out, which means it's 1 less silence, so Tirion will be that much safer later on. Obviously, he's got another silence in there somewhere, but he may use that before I play Tirion or Kel Thuzad. I think I'm going to go for the Piloted Sky Golem. It's just another thing which can potentially survive. Really, you want minions on the board, ready to go when Kel Thuzad drops. That way you get some value out of Kel Thuzad. If you just play him into an open board, it's just really no value. Other guy can just try and deal with it. And what is he going to do in response? I don't think I'm dead to the combo yet. Even the double yeah, I've got 22. We'll see what he plays. Okay, swipe. Leaves me with a little bit on the board, which he might be able to take out with a Druid. Oh, that's good. Okay. Which means it'll have a harder time killing that with his Keeper. And he's still got mana left for something big. What's it gonna be? Alright. Trades that out. Just softening me up, I think, for the combo later on. Okay, leaves me with a minion. This could be a Kel Thuzad turn, actually.
For justice.
Get out the Minibot. Yeah. So this means that Kel Thuzad's vulnerable to whatever removal he's got. He may expend a silence on it. He may throw out a couple of spells to just take it out, in which case I have to sort of start from scratch. He might be in the lead if he does that.
I have no time
But
for games.
he plays Sylvanas, which is always a challenge. Unfortunately, I'm not running any silence in my deck at all. I may need to fix that soon and swap something out for an Owl or a Spellbreaker. I think a lot of the time I get into these situations where I'm up against a Sylvanas and the only option I really have is to throw out as many minions as I can, then kill Sylvanas and give him a 25% chance, well in this case, of winning. So, yeah, just well played in advance of him stealing the Kel Thuzad. What is it going to be? Wow, okay, I get off really light there. He possesses the weakest minion on the board, and that does mean I can bring back my destroyed minion with Kel Thuzad. So I think that gives me a huge advantage. If he had stolen the... well, if he'd stolen anything but Kel Thuzad, I'm doing pretty well there. As it is, this gives me a big advantage. But yeah, I mean, I think that was the only way I could have done it. I mean, give him a 25% chance to win. If I just ignore the Sylvanas, it gives him an opportunity to rig the board so that he has a greater chance of capturing Kel. He can just kill the other things in the minion in the board, then attack directly into Kel Thuzad with Sylvanas and potentially get me. So at this stage, just trying to cruise to victory without dying to the combo. And at this point I just want to trade as many minions as possible, given that they will come back. So attacking with the minions that will die to his damage, then clearing up the board a little bit, healing myself effectively for a net gain of 3 life, and just chopping out a minion. I think it's important to do this so that he can't combo as easily. In fact, I think, mistake at the end of the turn, I really should have just attacked him, because that means that even if he finds a way of clearing me, I've got another attack for lethal, and it puts me on 22 life instead of 20. So if he, for example, does Force of Nature, Savage Roar, Innovate, Savage Roar, I think that gives him enough damage to kill me. Yeah, it does. On 20 it does. Yeah, so yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed this game though. Maybe more Hearthstone soon.